Have you ever dreamt of that perfect home only to watch it slip right through your fingers in this fiercely competitive market, leaving you more than just disappointed, perhaps angry, down, even defeated? Trust me, you are not alone. I've personally walked those shoes alongside countless others. And the good news is, that's gonna end today because I'm about to teach you how to win in Cleveland. What's up, guys? Anthony Esposito with eXp Realty, your local real estate expert right here in the Cleveland, Ohio area. And if you are feeling fed up with always coming in second, or even trying to figure out how to navigate the real estate market properly, then stay tuned because I'm about to correct all of that for you. And if you want to get in touch with me, I have all my contact information right here, or you could go in the description, click on my calendar link and book a call with me. Either way, I'm happy to help you out. So without further ado, let's find out how you truly win in Cleveland. So Cleveland's real estate market has been booming as of late. Last year, we were ranked number 2 hottest market in the US. This year, we only dropped 6 spots to number 8. There's a couple reasons that are behind that. The first one is the job opportunities that are in Northeast Ohio. The second one, namely, is because of the cost of living is below the national average, which that is huge right now. Everybody's affected with the inflation that has happened over the past couple years. And the surrounding suburbs, they're not only vibrant, but they are diverse and they have something for everybody. I'm talking cities like Solon, Shaker Heights, Westlake, Avon, North Ridgeville, North Royalton, Strongsville, Brunswick, Medina. I mean, the list goes on. There is so many amazing suburbs to Cleveland that you could choose from. However, with that heat, it brings the competition. And unfortunately, multiple offers are back. Low inventory, a lot of buyers, it's supply and demand. So you gotta be prepared. You need to have a strong offer in place for a home that you wanna purchase. That is a crucial step. And it's not just about the price, it's about terms. Be sure to find out what the seller is truly looking for, because it might not be the price. They might be looking for a longer possession, for instance, because there are a lot of people that are building right now. So be sure to find that out, but there's multiple ways to make your offers stand out. First, I want to lead into what prices are doing right now. So because of the heat of this market, prices, they're not going anywhere. Let's face it, it's the elephant in the room. Everybody is upset about them because they have gone up. They've gone up a lot, but they're not going to reverse. I mean, as you can see in this graph right here, they don't go down. Only a couple times where home prices, the value has actually dropped. Other than that, they go up every single year. That's just the way it is. So if you're waiting for those prices to drop down of where they used to be, you're going to be waiting a really long time and you're never going to end up seeing it. Truth be told, it's the brutal honesty that I have to give you, but it's just the way it is, and it's unfortunate. The heat of the market is picking up, so you're going to see homes that are going over list, for instance, in order to purchase them. You're going to see, your escalation clauses in some of these homes. It's the nature of the beast. And depending on your budget is going to really determine on which city in Northeast Ohio that you could actually choose to live in. And that needs to be a conversation that you have with your agent, with a lender, somebody. You need to get the brutal truth, just get it out of the way. Certain cities, if you don't have the proper budget for it, you're just not going to get in that city. So if you want to actually purchase a house in 2024, your best option is going to make sure that you have multiple areas that you're okay with. And if it's not in a city that you've been really trying to get into, but you want that first house, or you absolutely need to upsize because you're running out of room, don't let that kind of deter you. If you need to move right now, then go ahead and move. Go to a city that might be like right on the outskirts of one that you're looking for, but it's within your budget at this point. And in the next 5 years or so, build up that equity from that house, because in the next 5 years, nationally, they're projecting home prices to go up. Like I said, they go up every single year with a couple exceptions. So how exactly do we win in Cleveland for 2024? Well, let's start out as a buyer. And believe it or not, this is actually your year as long as you play your cards right. And despite the market's pace, having a solid plan set and ready to go is going to set you apart from every other buyer that is out there. I promise you that. So for starters, get your financial footprint set up, ready to go. I'm talking everything from down payments to closing costs to home inspections, you name it. So with your down payments, FHA loan, minimum 3.5% down. It can be gifted. For conventional, minimum is 3% down. And for VA, you don't have to put any money down. And then for closing cost is anywhere from 2 to 5% on average. Now, I will tell you, if you are a cash buyer, the only closing cost that you need to worry about is going to be title fees that are associated with it. So you'll have that and then your down payment. If you're taking out a mortgage, there's a little bit extra closing cost to it because you also have to pay, obviously for the lender to do his work on side of things. So next up, if you know of a lender or you dealt with a lender in the past, go ahead and reach out to them. Let them know your situation of what's going on. You could start that process. If not, I would advise getting in touch with an agent like myself, because we do work hand in hand with multiple lenders depending on, your situation, your type of loan, because there are some, mortgage lenders that are out there that'll specialize in something like a VA loan, for instance. With the way it is, with the way it has been, probably from here on out, anytime you go to purchase a house, when you put in that offer, you need to have that pre-approval, or else they're not really going to bat an eye at it. They'll present it to the seller, but more than likely they're going to ask bare minimum for the pre-approval, or if you don't have one, they're just going to reject it because there is no proof of funds that you can purchase that house. After that, this is where the fun comes in, because now you want to write down all your needs in one section. Don't veer from those. Within budget though, but put your must-haves in one column. Your other column, put your wants. Have those ready to go and share them with your agent. Let them know exactly what your needs are, what your wants are. If we can get everything in that want section, fantastic. That's the ultimate goal, right? It doesn't always happen though. Have those listed out. This includes areas, beds, baths, square footage, type of home. List out anything and everything and be sure to write it down. So then you go start touring your homes, and chances are the first one, it's not going to be that home where you want to put an offer in. Second one, probably the same thing. But what you're going to find going through these homes is you're going to start fine tuning that list a little bit. Once you find that house to put in the offer, this is where you absolutely take the advice of your agent. If there's multiple offers, have them look to see if there's multiple offers. That's a question that we're allowed to ask. Have them find out if there's anything of the sellers that they particularly want. Is like the price of the home, is that the most important? Are the terms like the day we close, is that the most important thing? Do they need added possession because they may be building or they're trying to find a home of themselves? That's going to set you apart in the offers that come in. And you want to come in with a strong offer no matter what. You do not want to come in at list price if there's multiple offers, because chances are somebody else is either coming in at list price, but more than likely they're going above that list price to try and win that offer. Do an escalation clause if that's allowed. There's multiple ways to go about this, but you need to trust in your agent to advise you properly. Don't go and let yourself lose a house over a couple $1,000s. I know it may seem a lot. A couple $1,000s can be a lot of money. Don't get me wrong. But when you're speaking in terms of a mortgage, it's literally pennies on the dollar. And then you come to find out it's like maybe $10 a month. I mean, what is that? $10 a month is not that much. That's why I say it's pennies on the dollar. Don't lose a house over a situation like that. Home inspections, I always advise those. Get the home inspections. Even on new builds, get the home inspections. I promise you. But that's the key steps to take as a buyer. Really quick, guys, don't forget, if you're new to my channel or you've gained any value from this so far, click subscribe, turn notifications on so you can stay in touch with all my other content that I drop. I got a lot of great stuff that is coming your way. Now let's get into you sellers. So how is it that we get the most money for your house? Because at the end of the day, let's face it, you want money in your pocket. You don't want to be forking up a bunch of money out of pocket. And we are still in a seller's market. So you're seeing the headlines, you're seeing all this, you know what your house is going for. How do we do that? Well, your strategy hinges on preparation, promotion, pricing, timing. That's the 4 key factors right there that you need to focus on. The first one you want to do is figure out what your motivation is to sell. Why are you selling exactly? Because sometimes it might not be the right time to sell depending on your situation. Other times you probably should have sold years ago and you just didn't end up doing it. Next, you want to figure out your timeline. It takes time to prep a house to get ready to sell. It's not like you're going to just turn around and sell your house within a couple days. There's a lot to go involve. So figure out your time frame. Do you want to move out of your house in 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 24 months, whatever the case is? Get your timeline down. So write down your motivation, write down your timeline, because that is going to actually put you in the right mindset to get that job done. The next thing that you have to do is you got to start preparing your house. The first 2 things before anything when you are preparing your house: deep clean, and the next one's a tough one, declutter. Decluttering is a very hard thing for people to do, especially if you've been in this house for decades. Deep clean, that's an obvious one. I'm talking everything. Like, take the vacuum to your baseboards, get the dust off your baseboards. Wipe down all your appliances, your countertops, backsplash if you have them. Clean everything. And if you don't feel like doing it, go ahead and pay the money and just pay somebody to come in and just get it done in a day and not even, worry about deep cleaning. For declutter, it's a tough one because you have to depersonalize your house. And I know that's really hard to do. You're going to be taking down pictures of your family, and I'm not talking every single one. However, you do want to open up the walls a little bit. You want to take stuff down off of shelving, like keep plants. Plants are really good for staging, certain decorations. It's really good, but you really have to depersonalize, because ultimately when you go live and your house is active, showings are going to be coming in. You want the buyers to envision themselves living in your house. I mean, put yourself in their shoes and think of you going to see a house with your agent. I know it's tough, but you got to bring that stuff down. And like I said, you don't have to make everything bare bones. That's not what you have to do. But you do have to take some stuff down. You need to get that buyer to really feel like they are at home and see what's going on. After that, what you want to look into doing is getting everything squared away as far as like paperwork. You want to have any type of warranties, appliances. Gather all of that stuff up before you meet with an agent if you're going to sell with an agent. If you're doing it on your own, there's different steps to take for that. But if you're selling with an agent, have all that paperwork ready to go. That's a question that I ask. Is there any transferable warranties? Do you have any paperwork on, appliances, windows, whatever it is? Buyers like to see that stuff. They like to have that stuff to know what was done, when it was done. So any type of updates that you've done, think about the year that you did it. Now, for the most part, a lot of this is going to apply to whether you're selling on your own or you're selling with an agent. However, just know if you are selling on your own, there's a couple of paperworks that you need to have by state law. If your house was built prior to 1978, you have to have lead paint disclosure. That is a must. You got to fill that out, either stating that you know of lead paint or you don't know of lead paint. The other one is the residential property disclosure. You have to have those in order to sell the house. That's Ohio law, but it's stuff that is, forgotten quite often because you don't really think about it. You're just, wanting to sell your house and just walk away from it, go on to your next, chapter in life. Now that you have, your list of upgrades, you got your paperwork, you've already started to, do deep clean, you've already started to declutter some stuff. Maybe you haven't. Even if you haven't, it's okay. It's not a huge deal at all. But pick the agent, interview the agent. That's going to be your next step at this point. Some agents are going to do really well for you. Some agents are going to, be on the same page as you. You're going to feel comfortable with them. Others, you're just going to get a bad feeling about it. And there's nothing wrong with that. Interview the different agents, see who's going to be the right fit for you and how you feel towards them representing you in literally, the biggest investment of your life. Next, what you want to do is get your photos lined up. Professional photography is something that I use on every single home, no matter the budget. Everybody's going to get the same experience from me. And I advise you to have the same thing, professional photography done. Even if you're selling on your own, pay the money for an actual real estate photographer to come in and take the pictures. And you may ask yourself, why is that? Well, think about it. Everything we do initially is pretty much going on the internet and looking something up before we do anything, right? It's no different with homes. The first thing people see are the photos of your home. So why have pictures that are dark, blurry, tilted, they're not straight on, they got a weird angle, the lens is being, the wide lens being used, whatever, the fishbowl effect, you want your home to shine and really pop. Because first impressions are everything. If they feel that they get super excited about seeing a house online, chances are when they're walking up to your house, they're going to be excited to see it in person. Whereas if the photos, let's be honest, are complete junk, they don't look good, it's not going to get people excited to go see the house. I've personally witnessed it with clients of mine. So professional photography to me is non-negotiable. That is 100% happening on every home. I mean, this is the biggest investment of your life. You should let that home shine the way it's supposed to shine. Now, as far as pricing goes, this is where it can get a little bit tricky. I will advise if you're selling by owner, which is fine, find a website other than Zillow. Don't trust the Zestimate because that is 9 times out of 10, that is completely off. But find a website in order to get your home value. See what homes around you have sold for. If you're selling with an agent, myself, other agents, we're going to run a CMA. We're going to see what your house is worth by comparing everything, apples to apples, oranges to oranges, you name it, to other sold properties within a certain distance. Now, we are not appraisers, so it's not going to be, this is what the home is worth. It's going to be a educated estimate on how we feel your home is going to, do in the market at a said price point. And depending on your situation, will determine really how we want to approach that. Now, ultimately, the sale price, the list price, that is up to you as a seller. Now, if you need a fast sale and you're still going to have money in your pocket and you get the seller net sheet, you see what you're going to end up pocketing and making, I would advise come in under of what the value actually is by a little bit. Try to get the sale done quicker. Now, if you want to test the waters a little bit, that's okay, you can. However, one of the things that needs to be discussed at that point, if you're going in over market value, is the possibility of price decreasing. So if you're getting feedback that it's too high in price, well, chances are it's too high in price. Now, when you do a price decrease, keep in mind, again, $1,000, $2,000, that's pennies on the dollar when you're talking real estate. So if you drop it by $1,000, that's not going to activate more showings. You got to do like $5,000, $10,000. If you are in, the luxury listing style, if you have those luxury homes, you need to consider your bigger price decreases like $50,000. I've seen, $100,000 price decrease at times. It just depends on your price point. But dropping it by, hundreds of dollars or a couple $1,000s, that's not going to spike anything. So keep that in mind. Now for one of the most important aspects of selling your home is going to be the promotion of it, the marketing campaign that's going to be done on this thing. We live in a world of social media, right? Perfect. Quickest and easiest way to get it out there. Advertise it on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, like you could blast it everywhere. But Facebook, go on to, your city's group, post it there. Everybody knows somebody. Get the majority of eyes into it. But having that like strategy kind of planned out attack of how you want to promote the property is going to be key to this thing. The more eyes on it, the quicker it's going to sell, the more buyers that come in. If you're a for sale by owner, get it on Zillow, Realtor, Trulia, like all the websites, blast it out there, get as many eyes on it that you possibly can. That's how you're going to end up selling it the absolute quickest. Another strategy to use is mailers, sending out something as simple as a postcard or letters stating to your neighbors in like your development, close proximity, hey, my house was just listed. Phone calls to neighborhoods just to let people know. Same thing with open houses. Host an open house. Let that happen. That'll bring more people in. The more eyes, the more buyers, quicker of a sale. Plain and simple. As far as the showings go, try to be as open as you can. The more flexibility you have in the schedule for showings, the quicker it's going to sell, the better off you're going to be. If you have to be strict on showings of, 24-hour notice, 48-hour notice, you could only show the house between, 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. If that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. I mean, it's totally up to you. But try to be as flexible as possible because you never know when a buyer could potentially make it work. If they're working third shift, chances are they're going to want to see it first thing in the morning, early afternoon. And if you limit it to the afternoon or like the late afternoon into the evening, that's a buyer that's lost. So the more flexibility, the absolute better off you are going to be when selling your home. Whether you're buying, selling, investing, Cleveland's vibrant market is a path to success, one way or another. As long as you have a good plan in place and you have a strategy ready to go of how you want to attack this market, you will find that dream home, you will sell your home, or you will find that perfect investment property. If you need help with any of those, here's my contact information right here in front of me, or you can go in the description, click on the link, and book a call with me. But either way, I would love to chat with you and see how I could help you out like I've have many other people. If you got anything out of this video, smash the like button. It's greatly appreciated. And if you haven't yet already, click subscribe, turn notifications on so you don't miss any of my content that I drop every week.